Jai Hind everyone. I am Shraddha Mishra, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Ajay Kumar Garg, Engineering College. In a series of cybersecurity, we'll be starting with Unit 2 today, which is cybercrime. So the topics are as follows. These topics we'll be discussing now. First topic is mobile and wireless devices. So we all know that because of these portability and a better communication, we are all using mobile wireless devices, which makes our life way more easier. But also, it has the flip side of the coin is it makes it very accessible for the hackers also to hack and invade our privacy. So let's understand the proliferation of mobile and wireless devices. So earlier we had 2G, then 3G, then 4G, and now we have 5G. So there's evolution of technologies. Okay, based on consumer demand, there are foldable phones now available. There are phones which just fit your pocket. Then there are phones which have keypad also and touchscreen also. So according to the consumer needs, there are technologies which also evolve. There are better connectivity, versatility. Now trends. So if we understand the trend, there is 5G revolution, which is about IoT advancement and high-speed connectivity. There is mobile app ecosystem, which is diverse applications and app integration. Then we have mobile security measures. There is biometric authentication. So now you have fingerprints also, eye scanning. So there is evolution. Earlier used to write passcode. Now we have biometric. So it makes it more. There is two-factor authentication, which makes it more with more layers of security attached to it and makes it more secure. Next is edge computing. Reduce latency, improve privacy. So edge computing is like having a mini brain in your device. Instead of relying solely on a centralized server, computation happens closer to the source of augmented reality, remote work and collaboration. So these are the trends in mobility. Now credit card fraud. So we are so often we receive calls from credit card, and it's so difficult to demarcate which are the real from the real banks and which are the ones who are trying to extort money from us. Now in the credit card frauds, you get a call from these people and they say that, ma'am, your loan is approved for the certain amount, let's say 5 lakh, and please share OTP. We are going to get your card. So sometimes we share OTP and later we understand that it was a trap for us. So there has been credit card fraud. There's phishing. Fraudsters, they use fake messages or emails to trick you. Mobile malware, fake apps, unsecured Wi-Fi. Next, wireless computing era. So these are the elements: wireless network, mobile devices, cloud computing. These are all part of wireless computing. Now, next is security challenges. Lost or stolen devices. So now what happens is sometimes if you have iPhone, there is Find Your iPhone. Okay, you can easily track. Sometimes, okay, in Android, you can have your locations on at all time and track. So using IP address, we can track. But the security challenges are still that these hackers, they have their ways to pass through all of these security and breach your security and invade your privacy. Now, how do they do that? So let's discuss these challenges. First is lost or stolen device. There is a strong password you should keep. Malicious app is official app store only you should download. You should be very particular about app permissions, whom you're allowed to access gallery, whom you're allowed to access your location. So these permissions are very specific. If there is any app which seems creepy or which doesn't seem authentic to you, something fishy, you feel you should never download those apps. Right? Then there is phishing attacks. Insecure Wi-Fi networks. You go to railway station, you try to download apps there. So you should be very particular. If you're doing any payment and anything, you should not do it in any unsecured Wi-Fi. Now, next is social engineering. So social engineering is that they know the temperament of certain human and they try to exploit that nature and maneuver their way through it. And they try that, okay, this person is very vulnerable and you know, he can act as a bait and let's sway him away with some lucrative offer. So what happens is then the person, they try to say that, okay, this 2 lakh rupee you're going to get if you click this link, and people are tempted to click that link and their entire bank details are in somebody else's hand. So you have to be very particular about links and just not get lured away with this outside lucrative offers they present to you. Insufficient user awareness. So there are training programs, communication. Next is registry settings for mobile devices. Let's say iPhone and iOS and Android. So first is device passcode. Protects the device from unauthorized access. So you go to settings, Face ID passcode, and you turn passcode on. So device passcode, registry settings for mobile devices. First is you should always have a passcode or a protective layer in your phone. Next is biometric authentication. So we have some, so that it is exclusively reserved for you. Find My phone should be on. Then app permissions. You should be very particular about the permissions you give to your sensitive data, to your Paytm, to your payment gateways, the location, media gallery. You have to be very aware of what permissions you are giving at all time. Bluetooth, when you're not using, you should keep it off. AirDrop, you should keep it off. You should be very wary about what and how you are leading your life and conducting your phone. Next is the screen lock, right? And then here, if you see, you go to settings, security, screen lock, biometric authentication. Now, authentication service security. So these are the components. First is multi-factor authentication. You have two-factor authentication. You sign into your Google account. Then you have another that it is going to send OTP to your mobile phone or to your email ID. So in WhatsApp, you have passkeys. So what are these? These are two-factor authentication, that if anybody is able to break in to your first level of security, but in the second security level, you are aware and you are notified so that you can do the corrective measures. API security, regular security audits, user education, secure or credential storage, user authentication logs. So multi-factor authentication, then secure password policies, encryption, session management, brute force protection. So these are the authentication service security. Next we come to the attacks on mobile or cell phone. So these are the kind of attacks which are done. Malware, mobile viruses, phishing attack, man-in-the-middle attacks, ransomware, spyware, bluejacking, blue snuffing, social engineering attacks. So these are the certain attacks which are done. Now let's discuss them in detail. First, and how do you protect? So what are these attacks? Let's discuss and the way to curb these. So malware, mobile viruses. So malicious software designed to infect mobile devices and compromise their functionality. Sometimes you download apps from unsolicited websites or the websites which are not the authentic ones. So you pay way for the virus to creep into your phone. Now what happens is that you make the security really very transparent and very vulnerable for the hackers to fetch your confidential data. How you protect it? Install reputable antivirus and anti-malware apps. Download apps only from official app stores. Keep the device, operating system and apps updated. Then is phishing attacks. Attempt to trick users into revealing sensitive information by posing as a trustworthy entity. So phishing, right? So phishing is like a fraud person is acting like a real person trying to fetch confidential information from you. Maybe HDFC Bank, some people calls and they say that, okay, you know, we are from the credit card company or this much loan is approved, and you share your OTP and your bank account is compromised. So you assume them to be the authentic people. So that is what phishing attack means, that you have to be cautious of unsolicited mails, messages or calls asking for personal information. Verify the legitimacy of websites before entering credentials. Man in the middle attack. As the name says, there's a man in the middle as a real entity which is involved in between the intercepting, and they try to intercept information between the receiver and the sender. Now they try to intercept your confidential information and pass it to some malicious entities. How you protect it? Use secure Wi-Fi connectivity or VPNs. Be cautious in connecting to public Wi-Fi networks. Ransomware. Malware that encrypts data on the device, demanding a ransom for its release. How to protect? Regularly backup important data. Avoid clicking on suspicious links. SIM card swapping, bluejacking and blue snuffing. So what do you mean by bluejacking and blue snuffing? Exploiting Bluetooth connections to send unsolicited messages or gain unauthorized access to a device. So the name says bluejacking. And blue snuffing related to Bluetooth. That's why once you're not using your phone, you should keep your Bluetooth off, because people can be granted access using that. So set devices to non-discoverable mode in public places. Spyware. So software installed device without user's knowledge. So as the term says, spy, that somebody is trying to invade your phone without the user's knowledge, like a spy. So you have to regularly review your installed apps, use security software which scans for spyware. Wi-Fi eavesdropping. Your password has to be really strong so that nobody can crack it and misuse your Wi-Fi. Social engineering attacks. So here, be skeptical of unsolicited communication. Educate yourself about common social engineering tactics. So social engineering means they maneuver their way through your system or through your temperament, and they try to fetch information. So social engineering means that social means the people around us. Okay, you are trying to trick them into believing into that you are the authentic person, and you are trying to fetch information from them. Let's say I am from some hotel. Let's say I'm from Radisson Hotel, and I say you won this lottery, you got this 2 night stays in this hotel, and I try to fetch information from them. Okay, and I know that this person wants to visit that city and needs and is very lured by 5-star hotels. So okay, if I trick him into believing it, he might pay also, because comparatively less amount he has to pay for it. So social engineering is they try to find the chink in the armor, your weak point. Once they get that, they lure you into believing they're the authentic people and trap you into that. Into believing they are the authentic people and get your information out. App permissions abuse. Next is security implications for organizations. So data breach, malware infection, phishing attacks, denial of service, supply chain attack. Right? Now, organizational security policies. So if we talk about the organizational security policies, it includes mobile device management solutions, mobile device policy, mobile threat defense, and secure mobile network connectivity, mobile device security awareness, mobile device productivity optimization. So let's discuss them in detail. Mobile device management, MDM solutions. So MDM software provides centralized control over mobile devices, enabling IT administrators to manage and secure devices effectively. Device enrollment and provisioning, application management, remote access and control, security enforcement. Then there are mobile device policy, mobile threat defense, mobile device security awareness, and mobile device productivity optimization. So let's discuss them in detail. Mobile device management, MDM solutions. So as it says, mobile device management, how you manage your device so that nobody is able to hack your systems. MDM software provides centralized control over mobile devices, enabling IT administrators to manage and secure devices effectively. So MDM includes device enrollment and provisioning, streamline device setup and ensure consistent configurations, application management, deploy, update, and restrict applications based on organization need, remote access and control, remotely wipe or lock device in case of loss or theft, security enforcement, enforce password policies, data encryption, and other security measures. So these are a part of mobile device management. Now you have mobile threat defense, MTD solutions. MTD software provides real-time protection against mobile threats such as malware, phishing, and malicious websites. Threat detection and prevention. Block malicious application websites and phishing attempts. Vulnerability assessment. Identify and remediate vulnerabilities in mobile devices and applications. Threat intelligence. Leverage real-time threat intelligence to stay ahead of emerging threats. Data loss prevention. Prevent sensitive data from leaving organization through mobile devices. Next is secure mobile network connectivity. Organizations should implement secure network access methods for mobile devices such as virtual private network, VPN. So you encrypt data transmission over public Wi-Fi networks. Whenever you're using public Wi-Fi, we use VPNs. Mobile device management, MDM, integrated VPNs. Integrate VPN capabilities into MDM solutions for centralized control. Zero trust network access. Continuously authenticate and verify user identities before granting access to network resources. Mobile device security awareness, educating employees about mobile security risks and best practices is crucial for preventing human error. You identify and avoid phishing attacks, strong password practices,
secure app installation and usage, reporting suspicious activity. Mobile device productivity optimization. Organizations should address mobile device productivity issues to ensure optimal employee performance. Optimize applications for mobile usage, promote mobile-friendly work. These are the methods using which organization security can be secured in mobile computing era. So thank you so much. Hope you liked it.